happy to everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice. Y'all know what I got to say, right? This is the day that the Lord has made, and I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. Let me tell you, you may as well go ahead and rejoice, regardless of what's going on. You got to understand when we have a higher power, he controls it all. And I'm super excited to each and every time I get an opportunity to crack the mic to tell people about Dr. Telisa and all things about conversations that move our community and our culture. Because there's some bigger things that we got to be working on, y'all. We got to get to the point where we're not infighting. We got to get to the point where we're understanding that if we all put our hands together, we can move the community, but it's going to take us doing together. And unfortunately, sometimes, y'all, we got to have these hard conversations that many times people don't want us to have. But I'm telling you, unless we have those conversations, we'll never, ever move the needle in our community. And so today, I'm super excited to have a young man that has always been boots on the ground helping the community, because he has a story that has not always been the positive boots on the ground, but he's turned the negative and made it a positive, and he's truly just transforming not just himself, but he's transforming young people. Will you welcome with me the one and the only Dr. Jeffrey J. Futtrell. What's up, JR? Thank you for being here. You know, when I was saying in my intro that you have had some challenges, but you take your negative places of life and now you're changing into positive, and you're helping other young people do what they need to do so they don't have to never walk a mile in your shoes. Kind of share with our listeners and our audience, who is J.R. Futtrell?
Well, again, thanks for having me here. I'm just honored to be here. But I'm a great teacher because I teach from my failures. So I compile what I have more of, and I use that as the bedrock of teaching and instructing. You know, just an open testimony that we share with our sons and daughters that have been there. And I'm only telling you this because I don't want you to go there.
Yes.
Since I've already made the mistake, there's no need for you to reduplicate it. So I'll tell you how I did and what happened and the consequences, and then the lingering effects of it. So that's how we teach at Young Man University. I am the chairman of Young Man University. We are an educational system. Well, we provide homeschool support, and we are focused on entrepreneurship and academics. So all of my scholars this is about being an entrepreneur. This is about being the head of your own Tennessee corporation. So I don't teach scholars with blanks. I put live fire round in their weaponry. So everybody has to set up their own corporation, have their tax ID number, and process through the functions of being the CEO, the highs and lows. And then within this circle, even including myself, I share with them my highs and my lows, my ups and my downs of trying to be self-employed. I don't want to paint this illusional picture that it's all gravy. It's not.
Gravy, I wish it was.
I'm up all night. I'm up early in the morning. I'm pushing all the angles because if you want to be self-contained, that's what you got to do. So people say, I want to be a CEO. Do you really? Do you want to do what it takes to be that? So that's what we do at YMU. I'm pushing and raising entrepreneurship with the understanding that employment is a bedrock for us. So I don't want to sell you the dream. I don't need a job. Yes, you do. You need a job right now.
Yeah.
So, and in due season, then perhaps you can move away from that. But I don't discount employment because it's at the center for many of us because we didn't inherit money.
Right.
Start with. So we got to start somewhere.
Don't I know? 30 years plus, I was making 50 cents a day in my business, and many people laughed at me. Now, 30 years ago, I owned a business. I had one employee in commercial property, and I was making 54 cents a day.
Wow.
And I do believe it was my only one employee that was buying a drink. Because I didn't make any money, and I went a lot of days like that.
Yes, ma'am.
But when many people told me to give up, I couldn't give up because there was something inside of me that said, I'm going to make it.
And you know, Telisa, it's the spiritual side of building for self.
Yes.
That keeps you closer to God than anything else.
Baby, because if you don't know how to pray, go in business. Baby, you won't know how to pray. pray and pray some more.
Every day you're asking God, please, God.
Yeah.
That check to come through.
Yeah.
I need that money hit my account. Because without his hand on it,
yes,
it's not going to work.
It absolutely would not. And so, Doc, with those, and I love to share my story, especially with young entrepreneurs that may look at me and say, I said, baby, I ain't get over here overnight. I had a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and a whole river of tears. But I'm glad I never gave up. I never gave up on my vision. I never gave up on my dream. Regardless of anything I did that was a past mistake, I knew that was just the mistake, but God's grace kept me. So even talking about past mistakes and God's grace, I want you to really, let's kind of let people go back to your life, because many years ago, you wasn't that Dr. Jeffrey Futtrell. No. You wasn't that young man that was speaking into other men and women's life. You wasn't that man going to the prison telling people, when you get out, you need to be making a plan for this, that, and that. You was not that guy, right? You was on the other side. Kind of share before there was ever a Dr. Jeffrey Futtrell.
Right.
But there was a JR.
That was a JR, for sure. And drugs, money laundering, racketeering, you name it. If it was crooked, I was probably in it. I had some exceptions, but for the most part, it was just criminal activity. Mm-hmm. And always enterprising, though. So gang affiliation, all of it. I'm always enterprising. I'm always looking for a way to turn a dollar. And the price of it was so high because I lost my daughter. But that was the way God got my attention. So now what I say to men, don't make God get your attention. Because he will get your attention in a way that there's no closure for the way that he got your attention. Even when you move to the other side, it's still there. It doesn't go away. There's no closure. So you use that as a PowerPoint to continue to drive and talk to God and say, I'm going to continue to try and stay on this side. So at the end of days, I'll see my daughter in paradise. For me, it drives me closer to my faith. Mm-hmm. I spent 11 years in prison.
11 years in prison.
So when I go, what better person than me to go back into the prison than work? Because I'm not there but for one reason, to prevent men from making the same mistake. Mm-hmm. Our course into prison is called freedom over release. And I tell men always that judges, lawyers, and jailers only have the authority to release you. But God is the only person through your covenant with him that can free you. So when we're working on all these great plans to get out of prison, unless you put God into it first, not in the back end, then it diminishes the capacity in which you can find success. To know that without God, this ain't gonna happen. I'm incapable of doing right without God.
Yeah,
that's where you got to get. And you're still gonna mess up even knowing that. But at least you have a steady, constant system that you can rely on to build the vision that you have. And I always say, if God gave you a vision, how you give up on it? I mean, this has been, I'm 25 years into this, and this has been difficult. It has never really been easy.
Wow.
You talk about people walking away, people telling you, you leave it alone.
Yeah.
I can't because this is what God gave me to do inside a prison cell. Because I'm just asking, all my money's gone, all the stuff is gone, the houses are gone, I'm in a prison cell.
Yeah.
What you want from me? This is my conversation. What do you want from me?
Right.
You know what I mean? What am I supposed to do? What do you want? Daughter's gone, all the money's gone. The glamour of the life, the fast life soon shatters, and after all the lights and screams, nothing but your dreams matter. And I was in that cell. That's what Tupac said. Mm-hmm. The fast life shatters. When all of it's gone, nothing left matters but your dreams. So I'm just asking God, what do you want me to do? And he gave me why I'm here.
So, here you are in jail, and I do have, and I'm grateful to some of my brothers that literally write me and they listen to my shows or they watch my shows from jail. And I'm always in, like, if I get their message, like, hey, I need you to know what you're doing to better you, right? Because watching me is one thing, but you got a date that you're going to be released. Right. Well, what really are you going to be? You do free. And so how do you, Doc, understand and relate it to our younger generation? Because some of our younger generations, I believe that social media has glamorized a lifestyle that ain't true. They never show them that after you had the cars, the houses, the money, the best of the best, and your daughter to love on her and to buy everything she wants, now you can't buy nothing but some flowers to put on her grave because she gone in the memories. We don't tell our children the real stuff, right? People make it look like it's cool to commit crimes, but they never tell them, but there is something that's going to happen to you that your mama, your daddy, or even your so-said partners can help you with.
No, and Telisa, I always tell a lot of this is on the elders. Because we don't want our children to know that dark side that we have. You don't want to tell them. I have a friend, was the trustee over all the money at his church. I remember you were a thief.
Ooh!
I remember you were in the rackets deep. Couldn't lay nothing around you because you were probably going to take it.
But now trustee at the church.
But you condemn, because I heard him say something. I don't know why these kids do that. I just look at him like, bro, come on, you kidding me? You
kidding me? Don't tell somebody else in the church that don't know the real you.
No, man, come on. You're supposed to be the one who remembers the most because you could help them.
Ooh.
Paul on the road to Damascus, I always use that analysis, that word, damn, ask us. That's what ask you. You could tell him. The young woman with the skirt all the way up here, you did the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, get with the young girl and tell her. We don't want our children to know that dark side of what. But that's empowerment. Because the only reason I'm telling you, because I'm telling you, I don't want you to do it. You don't have to do it. I can tell you all about it. But we don't elicit that conversation out of ourselves for our children. So we have our kids running around because nothing's new under the sun. They're not doing anything new, maybe innovative.
Yeah.
But it's not new. So we've seen it before. And so we have the cure. The cure is inside the venom.
Yeah.
We got to go in the snake and get the antidote. And we've been inside the snake. We've been the snake. But we want to play religion. But I don't play church. That's why I tell folks I don't play church.
And I think maybe people don't get me, dog. Because I'm crazy. I'm just the same person in the church, out of church, wherever I am. I will walk up to a young girl and, people are down at her, and especially if I see a young girl in church, right? And maybe she has gotten herself pregnant and she good and full, right? And I walk up to her, I said, baby, I love you, sugar. I said, the difference between me and you got caught and I did. So how can I help you be a better version of you, even in the midst of your present situation?
Absolutely.
Because I keep telling people, even when you get down to the church, you have the mothers on the motherboard gonna tell you, girl, pull your skirt up. Girl, you shouldn't wear it that tight. Girl, why you having these babies? But if I do my adding and subtraction, they had a baby that went deacon before they got to the motherboard and they was wearing those kind of clothes. So how can we love them? God saves souls and not clothes.
And we forget to remember.
And I can't ever forget. I can't forget my foolishness.
No.
That's why I always make it my business to share with someone else, Doc. And so just listening to you and how that when you're in the interaction with other people that was once of you, right? They understand that you can play these, but this is what's happening now. And I mean, y'all can tell me if I'm right or wrong. That the young folk know.
They do.
These young folks ain't letting you play in their face no more.
No,
these young folks telling you ain't gonna play in my face. And then these young folks are smart enough to go back and get the receipts and post it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, and then you just gotta be open with that. Hey, man, I'm not gonna sell you no dream. I don't sell dreams. I'm not the candy man. I'm not trying to make the world taste good.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what it is, and I'm telling you how to avoid it. And the Bible says we can't fall apart now that I tell you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you what prison did to me. I'm telling you what it did to my parents, what it did to my children. So I'm always telling young brothers, you don't want this, man. And it's hard to repair those relationships with your children when you've been gone so long. And even though they are forgiving, there's still a lingering
pain. Yeah.
Because you were gone. There's no amount of money that can fix it. Only God's grace and mercy can restore it and fix it, and that's what we pray and hope for. But if we don't use these things to empower our children, but you can't empower our youth if you don't know them.
Oh.
You don't want to get up on the block and move. You just can't walk up and talk, pull your pants up. No, you. The first thing I say, fool, I don't even know. You better go on somewhere else to do before you get.
And they're going to say it worse than that now.
That's the clean version.
Yeah.
But the other part is that you got to be willing to, we don't speak to the children. I see, hey, they may not say nothing, but just speak to them.
Right.
I used to work in the school system. I speak to young, hey, Queen, look, get on my nerves. Next time I see them, I'll speak to them again. See, by attrition, we can wear down that negative behavior.
Yes.
By just constantly staying consistent with what our hopes and thought patterns are, what we're trying to do. I'm trying to create a relationship. I don't do programs, I do systems. Systems are programs come and go. Systems are sustainable. And unless we're willing to be sustainable in our behavior towards dealing with our children, you're going to never reach them. Can't reach them just on Sunday and Wednesday. So you got to be willing to take the task on of being consistent.
And you said something, and I know that my listeners, they caught it. Programs. We can keep creating programs, but let's be real. The jail system, the criminal system is a system.
It is.
And it keeps going. Programs stop and start.
They do.
But systems keep going.
They're perpetual and they're sustainable, and this system is not broken. It works exactly the way the designers of it expected it to do.
Yeah.
It has a perpetual motion to affect a certain population, more so us than anyone else. So people say, well, the system is broke. The system is not broke. The system works fine. It's doing what it was designed to do.
Yeah.
So in order for us to change it, then we've got to create our own. If you can walk through this city, almost 70% black, and look around and see that we own absolutely nothing as a collective body that affects our community and reflects upon our spending habit, then something's wrong with you. It's okay. And I'm always at politicians about where's the grocery store you tried to open? Where to get people together to do it. It doesn't have to be as large as Kroger's.
Yeah.
Kroger's was a little place at one time. And for the sake of the children, it needs to be somewhere. Start somewhere. I always tell my daughter, I say, okay, this may not be mega, but at least I can hand it to you.
Yeah.
I can give it to you. You can take it and run with it. You know how to work it.
Yeah.
But I can't do that with my job.
Ooh.
I'm an adjunct professor, but I can't give you those positions.
Yeah.
Because, we don't have the same educational background, so that's not going to work. I can't ask my daughter, it doesn't work. But around here, I'm a boss, I can say, here, you take this and run with it. Well, that takes time. But more than anything else, it takes commitment. Because nothing overrides the want.
Nothing.
You could be gifted and talented, but if you don't want it, it's not going to materialize. But the only way we get to see that in our children is talk to them. What do you want to do? Tell them. Be excited about it. I don't care if they say they want to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Give me a heaven and just
let's do it together.
Let's do some astronaut stuff.
Yeah.
And if you change your mind, that's fine. This is the season of your life that you need to change your mind.
Yeah.
But when they stop dreaming, then we get what we have in the city of Memphis and across the country. Kids who don't dream, who don't hope about having a house and a yard and waxing their car and standing out on the curb with their neighbor looking at their lawn.
Yes.
You don't get that. We just get the club thing and the twerking and all that. And
the hookering and the smokes and all that stuff. And I'm not going back to what you do, but it's a time and place for all things. If your recreational fun outweighs you taking care of your family, then there's a problem.
It is. And we've allowed that even in our school system. I don't allow for mediocrity. So you can't come to where I'm in a wrinkled shirt. When my shirt is wrinkled, here's the standard. You can waltz in here with a wrinkled shirt. My shoes are dusty, you're welcome to wear dusty school shoes. I don't have dusty shoes. And I'm always pressed.
Always. I don't think it's never been a time I didn't see your shoes shine and you weren't clean. But I was talking with, and this is off the subject, we're going to go back. I was talking with the promoter. He was like, back in the day, people had style when they did a show, right? So everybody dressed up. The band was dressed up. He said, now they just show up. Sure. He said, the funny part about it, you done paid $70 and $80 to show up, to come to a show, to dress up, only to see people you paid to see that even barely showed up.
Yeah.
And so I think, y'all, we got to get to the point that we help our young people show up for success and not just allow them to take in and everything.
But that's setting that bar. School has to be, we say skip school to get educated.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be more than just an assembly place.
Yes.
At YMU, we have house call. I pull up at your house, see how you're living in your room. I don't care if it's a matchbox. It needs to be
clean.
Doesn't matter, just where you live.
Yeah.
You can't take pride in the 5-bedroom. You won't take pride in the 1-bedroom.
Ooh, I hope y'all caught that.
How you gonna be proud of that? Why you bugging God about a mansion, but you won't clean the apartment?
Oh.
So teaching them to have pride in where they are.
Mm-hmm.
People come in the office and the office is so nice. That's called I clean mine and they clean theirs.
Yeah.
I got enough stuff to clean. But this is where you are. This is where you're getting what you need, empowering yourself.
Yeah.
Your business meetings. So it has to be a certain way. I don't do mediocrity. And we've allowed mediocrity to become the standard.
Yeah.
And then adjust the grade scale so you could be even less than mediocre.
So what can we do, Doc, to help change the trajectory of our young people? Or what can we do to help change the mindset of our old heads that's my age and older that can have an effect on their children?
We got to become systemic. We have to create systems. I mean, coming out on the fifth Sunday in the streets and feeding homes every once in a while, that's fine. But you got to stay consistent, not just with feeding the people, because the poor is going to be among us.
Exactly.
But in our efforts to change our children, we're going to be tutoring this month. If kids need tutoring, they need tutoring all the time. What you need to do is be aware of who needs what. You just can't do it for a short time and expect quantifiable results that you can measure. No, you got to stay with it, stay consistent. And then we got to use our faith. Say, while I'm here, we start our day with prayer, proverbs, and songs every day. It's a part of our faith.
Ooh.
You got to make boys contenders for the faith. But if they don't understand the faith, I don't try to take them all over the Bible.
Yeah.
Take them to Proverbs and songs.
And that's cool, because Proverbs will get you to live every day.
So, and then they'll expand their own horizons the more they read Proverbs and songs. But that's a part of our faith. Now, we say this is our faith, then why do you just exercise it on Sunday and Wednesday? It's got to be a part of our children's lives every day.
Yes.
And then over time, they'll mature to understand what it's about and why. So I'm not talking about church, I'm talking about God.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I tell you, Doc, just listening to you, I always get encouraged, and I know our audience is too, is that we got to get back to systems and stop the programs. And you said something that our children, especially talking about in Memphis, Tennessee, I can tell you about nowhere else. My home is Memphis, Tennessee. We can't get mad at our children that can't read, but all summer long we let them play. And so I remember when my son was out of school, we still was in school, right? Because I knew the importance of making sure that he'll be able to be okay in this world, right? Our mama ain't gonna be around always, but I need to teach you how to fish versus giving you the fish.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And then that learning has to be continuous.
Yes.
My grandson, I was homeschooling Ashton for 3 years, and he knew we're going to do learning first. Yes. We're going to do learning first. Before we go to the park and anything else, we're going to do learning first. So learning, it's the whole room is their classroom.
Yeah.
But we got to know how to teach our children. So teacher-student relationship is critical.
Yeah.
You can't teach them because you don't really understand it.
Right.
My math teacher couldn't teach a blackboard ratio. So I balled up 11 pieces of paper. He likes basketball. Shoot me 11 shots. So you make 8 out of 11. What's the ratio? 8 out of 11. You got to know how to teach him. You got to build it based on what he likes. And then develop education around it. That's why I have everybody write your vision and make it plain. And we're going to go intensely into this area that you're excited about and turn it into your academics.
My God, y'all. Dr. Jeffrey Futtrell, Young Man University, that is truly doing the work in our community and helping our people. I know people that's listened to this show today, they have been so blessed. Y'all, let me tell y'all, it is time out for us to keep going through the status quo. It is time for us to make the difference, not in just the lives of us, ourselves, but in our community and our culture, because I'm determined to be a beacon of light in our community. Listen, we'll be right back. Y'all know it all the time with more good stuff on the Dr. Telisa Franklin, where we doing what? Conversating community and culture all at one time.
Ciao.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In
At the
every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's a
Show.
story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel
Here at the Dr. Telisa Show.
It's time for an upgrade. Let's upgrade your skincare routine. If you suffer from acne scars, dark spots, or severe hyperpigmentation, you need the Tones by Coco Brightening Moisturizer, Rapid Dark Spot Corrector, and you have to try our Kojic Acid Sea Moss Soap. These products work so fast, you can see results in just 7 days. You have to try. Shop now and get 10% off your first order at tonesbycoco.com.
Happy 901 day. Happy 901 day, Memphis. Happy 901. Oh my God. It's here, y'all. September 1, 2025 is Happy 901. And listen, I want to say Happy 901 to all as we enjoy Memphis. Listen, there are so many activities that's happening, but I'm super grateful that you're right here with the Tri-State Defender. My. But listen, I am proud to announce that you can catch me weekly right here on the Tri-State Defender, where we'll be diving in all things community. If you have an event or something positive happening in our community, I want to hear from you. Yes, I do. I want to hear from you. I truly care about our city, and I want to spotlight the amazing things that you're doing. So don't hesitate. Go on over to my website at www.telisafranklin.com and submit your ideas today. Let's celebrate the 901 hire together and keep spreading positivity. Remember, you can catch me each and every week right here on the Tri-State Defender. Thank you, and I cannot wait to share your stories. I am Dr. Telisa Franklin.
Join the rhythm and feel the beat in our community where we're all complete. With Dr. Telisa, let's take a stand. Together we'll grow hand in hand.
From the
Dr.
roots of
Telisa
history
Show.
to dreams we chase, Dr. Talisa Franklin shines a light on every face. In
At the
every
Dr.
heartbeat,
Telisa
there's a
Show.
story to tell. Gotta keep the culture celebrated as we excel here at the Dr. Talisa Show.
Well, y'all know I am your girl, Dr. Telisa Franklin, right here on the Dr. Telisa Show. What we're doing? Wait, we're conversating about community and culture. Yes, we are, because our community needs to have the true conversations that build better capacity in our culture. And today, y'all, I'm super excited to have the one and the only Dr. Jeffrey Futtrell of Young Man University. But more so, Dr. Futtrell has a story that's not just for me, but for everybody to hear. As you've already heard, that he's really changing the trajectory of other young people in our community. And so, Doc, we've talked so much about how you've arrived and all this stuff, but let's talk about some solutions, because in our community, we recognize that in Memphis, we have high crime rates, high poverty rates, low housing, transportation is not the best. So we have all the factors that make us our city that we need some work. Yet we have a community that is comprised of mostly all leaders that look like you and I. How do we continue to have conversations even with our leaders, how we can move the needle in our community? Our community needs us, but they need to have somebody that's not afraid to share their story, to tell where they've been and how they're ready to move to that next level.
I agree. I think for me, it's all about it's economic control. We don't have economic control. I mean, we have positions, but positions don't represent power.
Okay.
That's just position. The mayor is black, chief of police black. I mean, we got position, but that doesn't mean power.
Okay.
So power is what we need. We need economic power to control the spending. But here's the thing: people say that all the time, but you got to teach that. So now we got to step back in time to the next generation or the generation coming to teach that. That has to become a part of the culture.
Yeah, okay.
You know, because it's not a part of the culture. So we have to teach that in the schools. You know, I was having a discussion with an educator. You know, we're talking about math. Why are we still teaching kids algebra 2 and not financial literacy?
Okay.
Because that makes more sense. You know, unless specifically they're going into an industry that requires multiple levels of math, we need to change that inside of our school system. I mean, it's not rocket science. In order for us to make what you said a viable conversation within our community, we have to make them think economically and how they're going to be affected in the long haul. In a community where you live and pay taxes and bought a house, but you have to drive somewhere way other than where you live to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
To go to the gas station.
Because we got food deserts everywhere.
We do.
We got gas stations that I wouldn't tell nobody going to. Because I tell anybody, if I walk into a gas station, and every once in a while, I like going to the corner stores. I like the corner store candy. But if I walk in there and I see a ski mask and it's 100 degrees outside, baby, I'm walking right back out of there because I know this store is adding to our crime. Shout out to State Representative Antonio Touche Parkinson. Made sure there was a bill passed for those nuisance stores to get shut down. But then also to the ones that didn't think it was a priority, that didn't vote for it. Shame on you. I'll say that. But anywho, we got to make sure that we are really, really understanding finances and economics and who's controlling them in our community, because there's no reason why, Doc, many of our communities look like a freaking war zone.
But if you don't think you have an enemy, guess what? You won't fight.
Ooh.
You got to know that we have an enemy, a prescribed enemy.
Yeah.
So you won't fight. You won't fight to change the community because you think everything's okay.
Yeah.
Because you've been lulled to sleep, and as a collective, we've been lulled to sleep thinking everything's okay. It's not okay, and we got to know that we're gonna have to go head to head with our own people.
Yes.
That you can't do that in the community, son. I love you, but I can't let you do that. We're gonna offer some alternative, realistic alternative.
Yeah.
See, because it's hard to take a young man. He's making $15 grand a week. You want to put him on $8 an hour. I was that guy.
Okay.
That ain't gonna make sense to me. My old man used to tell me all the time, with all your education, you could be making $100,000 a year. Bob, I make that a month.
Right.
That's a month's pay. It ain't no money for me. But God can make that make sense.
Yes.
So here's the spiritual side. You got to get to the Creator, however you want to call him.
Yeah.
Choose you this day.
Yeah.
But you got to know that only God's going to make that a rational, logical choice for you.
Yeah.
And why? And who's going to be affected? My children were affected by my decision. And when you're raising men, you got to know that everything you do affects your lineage.
Yes.
So you got to make conscious, logical decision, critical thought.
Yeah.
So that's how we change the community. First of all, we already got damage.
A lot of damage.
In fire science, it comes blowing a fire bridge. The fire's out of control. So you got to burn up to the fire to keep the fire from progressing. And then come back and heal that land where you had to burn. But you got to stop the fire. We got to stop the fire. Our kids, they're on Operation Zero. They ready to clock out a lot of times over the stuff they see on social media.
Yeah.
So we got to go and repair these damages.
Yeah.
So we can protect the even younger generation and then bring them up in a different way, with a different mindset.
Yeah.
And cultivate them. Otherwise, you're going to continue to have the same thing. And it's amazing that we expect something different, but we didn't do anything different.
And and I think a lot of times we want a different, but we're afraid of the change, right? And even in the schools, you said something that teaching financial literacy. I also think they need to go back to teaching civics because you got adults that don't understand how the law works. Then when I hear people say, "Oh, I don't vote, they're going to do what they want to do." Baby, the policies are set up to make sure we lose because we ain't going to read it, right? And we're not going to get civically engaged to do anything different. So we can't count money. We can't do businesses. Then you can't get mad because we don't have applicable transit because the policy says you can't get mad that we don't have the best of the schools because the policies was not written for black kids, right? Because we never wanted to have a true place at the table.
Absolutely. In order to have a place at the table, you got to build that place.
Yes.
And the best way is to build your own table.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start taking responsibility for our children.
Yes.
You got, I have a young man. He has two parents. They're professionals. They work in a professional capacity in the city.
Uh-huh.
And he was breaking in cars, 19 of them to be.
Wow.
Exact. So he's in court. We're going back and forth, but they were professionals. And the father said, "What do you think wrong with?" I said, "I think he's homeless." So Dad was insulted that I said that.
Yeah, because he doesn't work well to give him a good house.
Big house, all that. I said, "No, he's homeless. When's the last time you sat down at the table with him? When's the last time you sat in this nice backyard back here and just sit down and talk to him?" He jonesing for attention.
Mm-hmm. And they need it. I have a 19-year-old. And as long as I can remember as a child, I've always sat down and have conversations with my son. And I tell him, we go, even now, I mean, he's doing all these things, Doc, but it's like, we gonna go out and sit down and I'm gonna talk. If he's at home and I could be sitting, I was like, "Come downstairs, son." "What, Ma?" "Come downstairs. Sit down."
Look at it. Looking in his
I have
eyes.
to hear him and watch him and then just say, "Tell me what you're doing. How you doing? What can I do to help support you doing?" And a lot of our young people just want their mama or their dad to say, "What can I do to help support you?"
And the sacrifice is that, you working hard, you working 2 jobs, doing all that, but at what cost?
At what cost? The Bible says, "What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?" What profit you to gain all this in the city and all of this in your world, but you lose your children?
Then to stand in court with your son with a murder charge.
Oh, God.
We have 23 young black boys at juvenile court with 1st and 2nd degree murder charge.
23?
23. And tell me the crime is down. Let me tell you, I used to launder drug money. That's called cooking the books. Numbers don't lie, but they certainly can convey an untruth. They can convey an untruth just depending on how you move the numbers around. And that's what's happening. Crime is not down in this city. You're talking numbers, numerically. I'm not talking about numbers. I'm talking about people. And then the dominoing effect of the lives that are contaminated based on these behaviors. So unless we get up close and personal with that, and we got that many boys facing these type of charges and the likelihood that they're going to be gone for an extended period of time, you got a whole university of young professors right there that we need to sit down, analyze, talk to, put them in compulsory learning. These are probably going to be some of the best answers that we can get.
How to fix it. But again, I was at a community event last week. The mayor, state rep, Commissioner Caswell, Rhonda Logan, Michaelin, Easter Thomas, Register Brooks, so many of my dear brothers and dear sisters was there. And one thing I told them that I was happy that took place was we listened to the community. So many times we want to tell people what we need, but can you just listen to them? Maybe there's one thing that somebody you think that has no value but has all the value. They can say one thing that can change everything. There could be an easier way to do it and a simpler way and a less costly way, but we don't want to listen to the person that we think because they don't have a title, they have no value.
My greatest attribute is that I'm teachable.
And
I can learn
Yeah.
So we have to open up our minds to be willing to learn.
Yeah.
You can sift through the information and see what may be usable for you now or in the future, but that openness to have the desire that everyone has a contribution to make from all segments of society. So otherwise, we get lost in our moral code, and it justifies our own end. So we're not going to pray our way out of this.
No.
But we should pray.
But we ain't going to pray our way out of this.
Take action to resolve this issue.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to be up close and personal because we're in war.
And I tell people, anybody know that I love God. I'm unapologetic about my love for God, right? But we got to get to the point that after you get through praying, I need you to do something. I can pray all day long that I want this, that, and other. But unless I get up and do it, come on now, I got to believe, I got to make the first step. And then but you got to get up and do it. But so many times we're waiting for somebody else to do it. I tell people, I don't wait for you to give me a handout. I don't wait for you to give me a platform. I create my own. I don't wait for you to give me a table. I got the wood. I'm going to build my own. Because I have made it up in my mind that regardless of what you say, coming from where I come from, that man say I don't supposed to be here, the devil is a lie. I deserve to be in this place. You deserve to be in this place. But you got to get to the point. Stop waiting on somebody to give it to you. Baby, get up and make it happen. Put them invisible Nikes on and just do it.
Wasting the gift.
Wasting a good gift.
Buries the talent.
Yes.
And God wasn't happy.
Absolutely.
So you can't be lazy.
Yeah.
If you want to create, if you want to, especially want to do for self, lazy don't even.
Ooh, no, at all.
So you have to be willing to get up and drive yourself. I don't need motivation. I'm self-motivated.
Come on now. I wake up ready. They said, I get up happy every day. I wake up ready because I'm ready for whatever God is going to allow me the opportunity to. So I don't have to get ready. I'm already ready to go to that next level. Doc, I know this has been so great, but I ask all of my guests that's on my show this very same question. Is always I get unique answers from different perspectives. And one of the question is, what is the one word that you would describe community? Peace. Oh, that's good. What is the one word you would do to describe culture? Collective effort. So now we got the one thing that you want to have in our community is peace and a collective effort for our community. That'll do it.
Because leader's position is a position of war.
Yeah.
It's like the king's seat, the throne is not a position of peace.
Yeah.
If there's peace in the kingdom, it's because the king is vigilant in his watch.
Come on.
So that's what we have to become vigilant in our watch. You have to be that person who's going to say something. You always got something to say. Yes.
Yeah.
Say about it because we want to get it right.
Peace and collective effort.
Yes.
Hey, that closes my show. Peace and collective effort. When we're talking about these community conversations that move our culture, you got to have peace and you got to have a collective effort. Oh, Doc, I'm going to use that again. I really like that. Now, that was a different perspective I've heard from a lot of my guests, but that was some there, y'all. Listen, Dr. Jeffrey Futtrell, y'all, thank you so much for being on the show, and you know you're going to come back always, all right? You don't have a choice. You can't say no to me. Listen, know y'all that I love you. Absolutely, positively love you, baby. There's nothing you can do about it. Make this day, make this moment, make this second the best ever, and learn how to be the best version of you, baby, because everybody else is already taken. I'm your girl, Dr. Telisa Franklin. Until next time, may God bless you and keep you with all of his good might. All right, talk to you soon.